Good evening, kids. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, it's been a minute since I made a video. I would apologize, but I'm not going to. Um, dude, is it just me or is everybody's weeks lasting like 6 months? For real. Like, holy shit. Um, so I'm making this video today because I am addressing a comment from a subscriber who pointed out something to me with regards to the COVID virus. And he writes, now this is by Raised by Gypsies. He writes, let me say I respect your investigative judicial work, so much so I contributed to your fundraiser a few years ago with Allie's help. We are not in a court of law, but I do have evidence I feel is pretty good. We are being hoodwinked. I am sure you know who Anthony Fauci, MD, is by now. In fact, the entire world knows who he is. In late March 2020, he and two colleagues wrote a paper in the New England Journal of Medicine. Please take a few minutes to read the article. Also, pay particular close attention to the contents of the third paragraph. We are all in this thing together, no matter where the truth resides. Please give me your honest opinion. Thank you, Mark. Okay, Mark. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my opinion on this. And, just as an aside, no, we're not in a court of law, but I find that it's super helpful to sort of live my life with the idea of, if I'm going to be making a point, if I'm going to be making an argument, to be prepared as though those statements would be made in a court of law. That's the standard by which I live my life. I don't open my mouth until I'm reasonably certain that what I'm saying is true. And I know that there's at least 2 to 3 sources that I can give you, credible sources of where I got that information. Because I don't want to give people faulty information. Now, having said that, let's take a look at the article. And again, link below, you know me, that Mark sent over to me. Now, this is from the New England Journal of Medicine. It's titled COVID-19 Navigating the Uncharted, authored by Anthony Fauci, MD, H. Clifford Lane, MD, and Robert Redfield, MD. And the particular paragraph that he is talking about is the third paragraph. It states, on the basis of a case definition requiring a diagnosis of pneumonia, the currently reported case fatality rate is approximately 2%. In another article in the journal, report mortality of 1.4% among 1,099 patients with laboratory-confirmed COVID-19. These patients had a wide spectrum of disease severity. If one assumes that the number of asymptomatic or minimally symptomatic cases is several times as high as the number of reported cases, the case fatality rate may be considerably less than 1%. This suggests that the overall clinical consequences of COVID-19 may ultimately be more akin to those of a severe seasonal influenza, which has a case fatality rate of approximately 0.1%, or a pandemic influenza similar to those in 1957 and 1968, rather than a disease similar to SARS or MERS, which have had case fatality rates of 9 to 10% and 36% respectively. Now, what does all of this mean? Well, while that's very possible, first of all, earlier in the article, it states that no cases of any patient under the age of 15 have been reported. I happen to know that to be bullshit. One of the cases that was reported in my town was a 9-year-old boy. So we know that that's bullshit. Now, to say completely no cases under 15 years old, right there is bullshit. But we'll say that they were going off of limited information. We'll go with that. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, having said that, however, despite the fact that they're probably right, Dr. Fauci is probably right. Here's the thing. With influenza, whether it be either strain of influenza, we know the general behavior of the virus. We know because we've been studying influenza for fucking generations. We've been studying it for years. COVID-19, we have never seen anything like this. We don't know what it is. We don't know how it behaves. Influenza does not have as long of an incubation period as COVID-19. Influenza does not behave the same as COVID-19. We don't know enough about COVID-19 to be able to say, right, it's not that bad. Okay? We don't know enough about it. We don't. And the fact is that until we do know more about it, it is better to proceed with caution than it is to go, fuck it, whatever. Okay? The fact is that, you know what? You're probably right. It probably isn't that bad. But you're forgetting that there's a lot of variables in there. You're forgetting that, it could not be that bad if our healthcare system was properly prepared. If our healthcare providers had all of the equipment that they need, all of the medicine and the personal protective equipment and ventilators, and if our healthcare system was ready, yeah, it probably wouldn't have been that bad. It probably would not be that bad. Absolutely, except for one minor problem. Because the healthcare system has been privatized and because it is just this giant shit show, that's why this pandemic is so bad and so scary. Let's leave out the fact that we don't know nearly enough about the virus as it is. Let's take that out of the equation and just look at how ill-prepared our healthcare system is to handle something of this nature. Okay, number 2, again, we don't know nearly enough about this virus. Number 3, with influenza, we have vaccines. We have vaccines because we've been studying them so much. We don't have nothing for this virus. Now, the Spanish flu, 100 years ago, a little over 100 years ago, we're seeing the same pattern that we saw then. People engaged in social distancing to a degree. People engaged in, doing what they needed to do to keep their families and themselves safe. And then after a little too long, they got tired of the fucking shit and they stopped, and the fucking virus came back and it mowed everybody to the ground. Okay? Don't be stupid. Learn from history. One of my favorite musicals is Hello, Dolly. One of these days, there are 2 parts that I must play before I die. One is Dolly Levi. The other one is Mama Rose from Gypsy. One of these days, I'm going to play Dolly Levi. God damn it. But there is a character in that play by the name of Horace Vandegelder. And he says, the world is full of simpletons and fools, and the rest of us are in danger of contamination. And he's absolutely fucking right. 100%. Don't be a simpleton. Don't be a fool. Don't be an omadon, which is Gaelic for fool. Don't be a dumbass. Wash your hands. Practice social distancing. Wear your mask in the grocery store. I even bought myself and my sons and my granddaughter. And they're just, regular masks. They're just cloth masks, but it helps. It's better than nothing. And I had to hunt for these fucking things. I had to hunt. The fact is that until we know more about this virus, it is dangerous to act like it's not a big deal. Okay? It's absolutely dangerous. We saw something similar with the AIDS epidemic. Back in the 80s when everybody was like, oh, well, it's only killing gay people. Really? That's your fucking line? Oh, it's only killing people over 59. Really? That's your line? That's your line in the sand? It's just killing the elderly and the young. Who cares? Fucking really? Where's the pro-life fuckers now? Or do you only care when it's time to inconvenience a woman? I'm just saying. So that's my response to you, Mark, is I see where you're coming from, and thank you for coming to me with and the reason why I'm listening to him is because the New England Journal of Medicine is a peer-reviewed journal. It absolutely, it is verifiable. It provides empirical evidence. So that's why I'm responding to him in this way. But at this point, I do find it to be folly to not do the simple things. And these are simple things, guys. These are simple things. It's not like we're fucking asking you to like pull your pants down and slowly insert your head into your asshole to like make sure that you don't spread the virus to other people. We're not asking you for difficult things. We're asking you to wash your hands. Don't fucking go out when you don't need to, and wear a fucking mask. Like, it's not hard. It's not hard. It's not like we're asking for your blood, for fuck's sake. Come on. Jesus Christ. Until we know more about this virus, I think it would be prudent for everybody to continue practicing the CDC guidelines with regards to maintaining this pandemic. That's what I got for that one. So I'm going to sign off. I've got homework to do. I'm fucking tired. I just got home from work. And yeah, it was a long day, guys. Jesus. So thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.